Hello, everybody. It's Comic-Con.
And welcome to our Comic-Con preview. We are your dynamic duo, also known as just a couple of geek girls sitting around talking about Comic-Con.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, I'm Beth Accomando, KPBS arts and culture reporter, and also the host of the Cinema Junkie podcast. And I am here with
Leslie Gonzalez, web producer here at KPBS. Hello, everybody.
And we are on the eve of one of the biggest pop culture conventions in the world. And there's a lot. There's a lot going on.
I mean, a lot is an understatement. I want to underscore that it is a chaotic, just Disneyland-driven, just ball of chaos. And I'm super excited for it, to be honest with you.
Yes. And every year, we cover Comic-Con. And, some people will say, like, well, can you find something new? Are there new angles on it? What are you particularly like? Is there something new you want to introduce people to this year, or something new you're covering that you haven't before?
Personally, I think I've covered a multiple, like a good ensemble of things during Comic-Con, but the one thing I really want to look into this year is a lot of like D&D panels. I'm into tabletop role playing a lot. I am a part of a Dungeons and Dragons guild myself. So one in particular is going to be the D&D panel with wrestlers. And that's kind of a subgenre within the subgenre kind of situation where you have a pro wrestler. I believe his name is Brandon Cutler. He's going to be DMing a bunch of other wrestlers for a battle royale, 5E style, just going all out and ham. And that's one of the things that I'm actually looking forward to, going and possibly peeking my head in and seeing. So that's probably one thing people don't really know, is that there's some really cool stage performances that are there. And I think people don't really look into that. I think the other one wants to go to Hall H or want to see some fun, like really well-known stuff. But yeah.
Just remember, if you go to Hall H, you have to commit to that, and you end up like being in line a lot. Whereas if you go to some of the smaller rooms where there aren't lines, you can really like take in a lot of stuff, which is personally my approach. Like, I'd rather go and see 5 panels in a day than wait in line for one. And especially nowadays, because a lot of the big studio panels, they'll release those panels online almost immediately after. But I remember going to a panel for Spaced, which, if anybody knows, it's Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright and Nick Frost. And there's a scene in one of the shows where they do this slow motion gunfight. And at the panel, somebody got up and said, like, there's a time. And then everybody in the room, including all the panelists, did a slow motion gunfight. Now that will never be anywhere else. It'll be a unique experience for those like 100 people in that room. And that's why you go to some of these smaller panels.
And I have to say, I think that actually adds to what makes Comic-Con so special.
Yes.
I think it's just that everyone gets you, everyone gets it. And everyone just simultaneously comes together and they all just participate, even though no one like cues you to do it. I think that's like one of the special factors is you're surrounded by people just like you.
Yes. And nobody like makes fun of you for being that weird.
No, absolutely not. And it's kind of like a faux pas on your part if you do. So you're just like, are you sure you belong here if you're making fun of me for this? So it's just a lot of fun being able to be a part of something that is just as insane as you are, I think.
Well, and since I come from a film background, I will say that the thing I try to push people to go see that I think is a best kept secret there is the Comic-Con International Independent Film Festival.
Right, yeah.
This is fabulous. It's off in the Marriott Hotel. You can go almost any time of the day or evening, see films that are geeky, pop culture inspired. Some of these films will never play anywhere else again, especially some of the short films. And they're great. And it's a nice little escape. It's air conditioned. You don't have to wait in line. You know, the films are enjoyable. There is an awards show on Sunday, and then they'll replay all the award winners, but you can go anytime during the convention.
Do you know anything that's showing this year at all? Or
I haven't looked through all the titles yet, but I got to be a judge one year, and you know, a lot of these films are small indie films. Some are student films. Some are just independent filmmakers, but it's great.
Well, speaking of best kept hidden secrets, it's not a secret actually, but I like to talk about it anyway. There's it used to be the Malibu Barbie Cafe, and now they're turning it into the Candyland Cafe, and it sounds just as wacky as the name perceives it to be. But it's basically just this place where, I mean, it's family fun, but you have this really cool confectionery shop. You also have these like food items that are inspired by sweets. So you get like rainbow sliders, you get like, I think chicken tenders with like a chocolate inspiration to it. It's kind of weird, but I really want to go see it. And anyone's interested, you probably would need to get a reservation for that. But that's not a best kept hidden secret, but that's one cool place I think you can visit for Comic-Con for sure. I think.
And is that with a badge or without?
Without a badge, actually. And they're open till October 4th. So I mean, it's during con and it'll be after con. So anybody can go and show up. Just make sure you make your reservation.
And another thing, like if you are in between panels and looking for something to do, highly recommend Artist Alley. There are local creators, national, some even international, but it's a great place. And Artist Alley is very close to Hall H. So if you're in between a Hall H panel or something and you just want to like check something out quickly, you can walk up and down those aisles, check out the art, see what appeals to you. Or if you have a favorite artist you've been following on Instagram and they have a booth, check them out. Some people will do, you know, custom art for you, and we'll have like exclusive stuff that they don't have anywhere else. And it's just fabulous. And I really highly recommend. I mean, one thing I try to tell people is spend some money in Artist Alley or small press. Like, put your money to use. Support these people who come out there. I mean, I met someone, Lenny, who does these fabulous Godzilla like pen and ink or pencil drawings. And I saw him for the first time in WonderCon. He wasn't allowed to leave the booth. His girlfriend said he couldn't leave the booth until you made enough money to pay for the booth.
Well,
which he did. And now he's been coming for years, and he's done some covers for some comic books. And so, you know, you get to see these people grow and evolve, and
it's fun to see their faces every year too. And speaking of Artist Alley, I know one of our reporters, Lainey Alfaro, is going to be reporting a story with an artist from Artist Alley, Patrick Ballesteros, I believe, with Le Petit Elephant. I love their art personally. I mean, I'm not Maya's book. I mean, I'm a little biased, but they're really great. I know Lady will be covering that during Comic-Con. And I believe you can get that story. You can actually get the story at our website at kppbs.org/Comic-Con. And there, not only will you find a lot of our great written content for Comic-Con, but you'll also find resources and other stories that are also similar to that as well. Which, by the way, that included, I will say there's actually a resource story I'll be working on too that is going to be coming out shortly about things you can do without a badge during Comic-Con. So if you have little ones or you just couldn't get a badge this year, but you still want to be part of the fun, you can always participate and take a look at our listicle online. Hopefully it'll be out fairly soon, but there's going to be a couple like activations. Nickelodeon's throwing one near the Children's Museum Park. You can get slimed there apparently. And that's a childhood dream of mine. But there's a lot of great fun activities you can probably do outside of the convention center as well.
And also, you know, if you see coverage of artists who have booths or people in small press, even if you're not at Comic-Con, check and see if they have an Instagram account. Look for their websites online. There are a lot of people who do web comics that are a lot of fun. Like one of my favorite people there is Angry Little Asian Girl.
Okay.
In fact, the very first booth I was helping run, she was there and helped us. She was selling some of her goods, and I fell in love with her stuff because she is an angry little Asian girl character who, like, I bought her shirt that says "I hate people."
You know what? I would love a matching t-shirt for myself. That'd be great.
Anger is a gift.
Oh, it is. I think it's just pure raw energy of just rage.
So, yeah. So, you know, if you see something in one of our videos or online, like Patrick's work. Patrick is local, so you can also find him at conventions like the Phil-Am Creator Con or Comic Fest and things like that. So just because you're not there doesn't mean you can't find these people elsewhere or appreciate their work or buy it online or on Etsy or things like that. So, don't feel left out.
Yeah, and absolutely. I think honestly, being outside the convention center too, there's so much to do as well, and so many people to meet there as well. And I know like that's where I think all the fun and festivities are, which I will have to say, I think, but one of the downsides I think of having that many people in one like condensed space is also the traffic as well. So I know that a lot of the times it can get a little tricky to get to Comic-Con. And I want to ask you, Beth, what is your like kind of secret to getting in and around Comic-Con?
Like there's not a good secret. My son suggested that there be a fast track around the edge of the convention. So everybody who knows exactly where they're going just goes on the outer edge.
Right.
And those of you who are looky-loos can do whatever you want inside. But there is no trick, really. Don't bring a stroller. Don't bring a cart. Don't bring things like that. That'll clog the aisleways even more. But I think the key thing to remember is you can't get from like Hall A to Hall H in 5 minutes because it's not about the distance. It's about all the things that are in between you and them. You might run into Galactus, who's blocking the aisles or things like that. And be patient. Find and there are pockets that are more congested than others. So sometimes, look ahead a bit. If you see it looking congested, turn down an
towards the
aisle.
horizon. Yes. It's just like driving, but the comic.
But yeah, and just make sure that you allow for time from getting from one place to the other. And if you have 2 panels back to back and they're at opposite ends of the convention, be really careful about making that your goal for the day.
Absolutely. And be prepared to sweat. Every time I go, I am drenched from pit to just abdomen with just sweat. You don't need to know that, but
bring deodorant.
Please.
Be nice. Be kind. Be kind to your other con goers. One year, I forgot who it was. They gave out free deodorant. That was the giveaway in the booth. It was hilarious.
Little
mini deodorants. Yes. They were saying something about our fandom, I think, but it was helpful.
I do like this method of passive aggressive hygiene. Just like, please, for the love of our senses, please wear deodorant. But with that said, I know like with the chaos of everything too, there's other ways to get to Comic-Con. And I know for people who are driving here, it's a mess. Not only will the freeways probably be backed up, but I know there's some closures that are happening on Harbor Drive during Comic-Con. So if concerts too,
I think that's a new thing this year. I don't remember that happening before, but
yes, and there's actually a couple of shows happening. The Fray is one of them, by the way. If you're a Fray fan like I am, then check them out. But I would stick to public transportation as best as you can.
Trolley's great.
The MTS
right in front of the convention center.
Amtrak would be also a good option. And honorable mention, you can also use our scooters that are around in downtown too, if you can snag one. I have the app. It's such a joy. I rode one for the first time and I felt so free going up and down, scared to death that I might get hit by a car, but it was pretty cool. I think it would be worth it with, the wind in your hair and enjoying the breeze and enjoying that is what is San Diego around.
Get there early. There's places where you can get a nice breakfast. We used to come, I remember like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, go to Richard Walker's Pancake House, get a super early breakfast, chill out. But then, you're getting there a little bit ahead of the crowd. There's still a lot of people, but it's a little easier to navigate through. So, and remember, if you have a badge, there are shuttles that Comic-Con organizes, and they can get you from a lot of the hotels that are nearby so that you don't have to repark or
right. The shuttles.
Shuttles are great. You need a badge for them. And the shuttle will also take you from the convention center to the Comic-Con museum. So
that's a
really good option if you want to check out. They still have the great Doctor Who exhibit.
I feel like that's also one of those, the best kept hidden secrets, but not really a secret. Because it's so Comic-Con adjacent that people are like, oh, that's right, we do have that. And I know they have always great panels, and they also have great like activities there to do too. So it's always a great place to hang out. I think it's just fun.
If you're a Doctor Who fan, they have some incredible stuff there.
Yeah. No,
Like-
definitely. I think I discovered Doctor Who in college, and I was just like, "What is this?" And it was the best thing ever. I went to so many theater openings for movies, and it was great. We all nerded out and we screamed at each other. It was so much fun.
And it's one of the longest running. There's there's like Godzilla, there's James Bond, and there's Doctor Who for like longevity of fandom and longevity of just new content over decades. And it's so exciting. I mean, Godzilla's got a new film coming out.
Yeah, and I know, like,
he's on the trolley or the bus wraps, I think.
And then Star Trek is also coming in too.
Yes, that's another longevity.
Exactly. And I think they're celebrating an anniversary this year too. So they're going to have, I think, a fun activation for that somewhere too. But talk about, the iconic, showstoppers that is, sci-fi television. Star Trek is killer.
Wait, you mentioned anniversary. I'm wearing my Ripley flight suit because there is going to be an Aliens 40th anniversary panel. So that's something that could be fun to check out. I'm not sure how popular that would be. That's another thing, like trying to go to panels is trying to anticipate how popular something is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we all know Marvel's going to be huge. And if you want to go to that,
Marvel
is returning. You're going to have to probably deal with the Hall H line from the day before. And I highly recommend, if this is something you want to do, like, here's the thing, Comic-Con is whatever you want to make it.
Of course.
And like, if you want to be in Hall H for the Marvel panel, and that is the only thing that's going to make you happy, then you just need to dedicate yourself to that. So you're not disappointed. And you need to look at the Comic-Con website. They have tips and policies for Hall H. There's wristbanding, there's places to line up, places not to line up, rules about, like, you can't put camping gear up, you can't walk away from it. But there's also online groups, which can be a lifesaver. Getting an online group, sometimes it can just be you and 5 people. Sometimes it's like 100 people. But make it a point of approach it like a military strategy, figure out how to do it, and get it done. And then you can enjoy it. And if that's not what you want to do, then just chill back, take it like the dude, and go to whatever panel you walk by that looks interesting.
That's like your opinion, man. But I think Hall H, if we're talking about Hall H, I'm really looking forward to. I think they're doing the Avatar. And I'm super excited because I grew up watching the Avatar.
And be clear which Avatar we're
talking
about.
Not the blue people. Yes. We're talking about the airbending. We're talking
the good one.
Yes, the good one. The beautiful, like, story arc that is the Avatar, the last airbender, with the best villain redemption arc possible. Anyway, I can nerd about that later. But no, that's the beauty about just participating in such huge, iconic, I think, just media and entertainment in general. But aside from Hall H, I think I'm also a book nerd. That's no secret, actually. I love anything sci-fi, fantasy, and fiction. If it's fun, I'll read it. I actually looking forward to seeing all the world building panels that they're going to be doing. You can also be a participant in watching people who pitch their portfolios, or even how to even create your own worlds and your own stories. There's also one called Girls Desserts, where I think Callie Hart, who wrote that famous Quicksilver book, is going to be there. So if you're into romantasy, they're going to be there. If you like comedy like I do with lit RPGs, Matt Dinneman is going to be there talking about humor and adventure.
You've been talking about him.
Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm so hoping to get an interview with him during Comic-Con. I'm on book 7. No spoilers, please. But other than that, it's been pretty good so far in terms of, like, what to anticipate for Comic-Con this year.
And you mentioned portfolio, and I just want to remind people, you can get your portfolio reviewed by professionals. People get hired off the floor.
Disney and Pixar and all sorts of other big names.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
And we do have something new this year here at KPBS. We are going to be using our new Comic-Con Arts YouTube channel. That's right. So I'm going to be trying to feed that with a lot of content, some stuff that's, from the floor, Artist Alley, gaming booths.
Cool.
So check that out. Subscribe. It's brand spanking new right now, but we're
has that new car smell, but this gives a new, like, YouTube channel smell. It smells so good.
And right now it's only going to smell of Comic-Con.
I don't know if I like that.
Yes.
You were talking about deodorant this whole time.
I know, but it's still, there's, it's like, wet dog smell. It's something that brings you joy.
Dogs smell at certain places. But all fun aside, well, no, it's all fun. It's all fun. We can't put fun aside. I think there's just so much that I think every year Comic-Con surprises me. There's always a new angle.
Yeah.
Like we're, coming back to the beginning here. It's just there's always a new angle. There's nothing ever that's just like, oh, we saw this last year's or anything better. It's just, I don't know. It's just refreshing every time.
Sometimes because you saw it last year, you want to see it again. Like there's things like Starship Smackdown, where it's a bunch of nerds deciding which is the captain who's going to, pilot the best ship and win. And it's like March Madness, where they're like narrowing them down to
with the brackets
wins.
just coming down.
They're brackets, and they have all these nerds on the panel, and it's great. And you can go every year and enjoy that. So there's things like that. The Trauma panel, my joy, late night panel with Lloyd Kaufman. He's been running Trauma Studios for 60 years, I think. People like James Gunn have come through there. There's stuff like that where you do want to go and find the familiar because you love it. So
I agree.
It's a mix of new things, but also seeing people you haven't seen all year long, meeting artists that like all those things are just what makes it, it's that scene from Force Awakens. Chewie, we're home.
Oh, I love it. Well, Beth, it looks like we're wrapping up here. We're almost out of time. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our audiences at home about Comic-Con or where to find us? I know they can visit us online at kbbs.org/Comic-Con plugin, but what else can we say to our lovely audience?
Like I said, check out the KPBS Arts YouTube channel. You can follow me on Instagram, Cinebeth. And I'll be posting a lot of stuff also. And, just make Comic-Con what you will. Like, roll with the punches. Find things you love. There is so much. I heard people complaining like there isn't enough stuff or the panel's lackluster. And, I went through the panels. I came up with 315 hours of programming that I want to go see. I can't make that happen. There is no panel on how to, clone yourself to go to 315 panels while still, working and filing stories.
Absolutely.
So there's stuff out there. I have panel recommendations online. I think all of them are up now for Wednesday through Sunday. There's a lot on there, pretty diverse stuff. So we have it grouped by interest. So if you're interested in comics and books, you can go to that collection, film and TV, fandom, and gaming. So yeah, check that out. I looked through all the programming. I probably missed some things too.
Then you're going to be my living encyclopedia for the next week because I need help. Well, thank you so much, Beth, for hanging out. Well, with me too. I'm here too. But keep hydrated. Take snacks. Please have a buddy with you just in case. But other than that.
Yeah, I have some tips online too.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, then, thanks everybody for sitting with us.
Thanks for hanging out.
Girls.
And see you at Comic-Con or on the fringes.